Sentence 5.
Jan has been getting headaches almost daily.
Please read sentence 6.
No sooner does he start reading than his eyes start hurting.
Now read sentence 7.
It's been quite some time since he's had his eyes checked.
Now read sentence 8.
Maybe he needs to get glasses for reading.
Part B. Repeat. Please repeat each sentence that you hear. For example, a voice says,
"Leave town on the next train."
and you say,
What are your views on this situation?
What are your views on these situations?
I'd like to order a chocolate cake for my sister's birthday.
I'd like to order chocolate cake for my sister's birthday.
How often do you see your neighbor?
How often do you see your neighbor?
Would you like to join us for dinner?
Would you like to join us for dinner?
Who was here yesterday?
Who was here yesterday?
For more information, call the number below.
For more information, call the number below.
A light lunch will be served after the wedding.
I like lunch will be served after the wedding.
There will be one 15-minute break between sessions.
There will be one 15-minute break between sessions.
Please, can't we handle this calmly like professionals?
Please, can we handle this calmly like professionals?
By the middle of the morning, half the sales team had quit.
By the middle of the morning, half the sales team had quit.
Being married or single never matters much.
Being married or single never matters much.
Drink plenty of fluids and get lots of rest.
Drink plenty of fluids and get lots of rest.
His desk area and bookshelves are always well organized.
The desk area and bookshelves are always well organized.
I've been using my lunch hour to look up stock prices.
I've been using my lunch hour to look up stock prices.
Regardless of the weather reports, it appears to be warming up a bit today.
Regardless of the weather reports, it appears to be warming up a bit today.
Sarah was hooked on the mystery story and stayed up reading well past midnight.
Sarah was hooked on the mystery story and stayed up reading.
Part C. Questions. Now, please just give a simple answer to the questions. For example, a voice says,
Would you get water from a bottle or a newspaper?
And you say,
A bottle.
or,
From a bottle.
What tool would you use to dig a hole in the garden?
What tool would you use to dig a hole in the garden?
Are you trying to leave someone or find someone when you want to track them down?
Leave someone.
The path is rocky. Is it smooth or uneven?
Uneven.
When buying something at a store, what should you receive to confirm your purchase?
A bill.
Do you use your hand or foot to kick a ball?
A foot.
To chill a drink, what can you add to it?
Water.
If you handle an object with great care, are you gentle or forgetful?
With gentle.
Brandon was glad to hear the news. Was he pleased or unhappy?
Unhappy.
To see a live performance, would it be appropriate to buy a ticket or a videotape?
Buy a ticket.
If a sign is visible, are you able to hear it or see it?
See it.
Which do you eat first, dinner or breakfast?
Breakfast.
Is a beautiful painting attractive or ugly?
Attractive.
Nicole exceeded the speed limit. Was she going too slow or too fast?
Too fast.
A baseball team requires 9 players. How many players are needed for 2 teams?
18.
What happens to snow on a warm day?
A storm.
Would you get lies or the truth from an honest person?
The truth.
A horse normally has how many legs?
4 legs.
Currently, Tom is unemployed. Is he working in a factory or reading the classified ads?
Reading the classified ads.
Is the lowest price the most expensive or the cheapest?
The cheapest.
If you slap something together, do you make it quickly or carefully?
Quickly.
Would a pilot fly a jet or drive a bus?
A jet.
Which is more flexible, a rubber band or a glass jar?
A rubber band.
I'm reluctant to go. Am I excited or resistant?
Resistant.
At the party, Chelsea avoided Jake. Did she stay away from him or help him?
Away from him.
Part D. Sentence builds. Now please rearrange the word groups into a sentence. For example, a voice says,
Was reading. My mother. Her favorite magazine.
and you say,
My mother was reading her favorite magazine.
My. Smokes. Husband.
My husband smokes.
For that. I wonder how much they paid.
I wonder how much they paid for that.
In the closet. They were. Still hiding.
They were still hiding in the closet.
Fairly evaluated. The teachers. Should be.
The teacher should be fairly evaluated.
Is hanging. In the closet. Frank's leather coat.
Frank's leather coat is hanging in the closet.
Hunters. Sleep here overnight. Will occasionally.
Hunters sleep will occasionally here overnight.
Report is due today. That financial.
Report. Financial report is due today.
Will not arrive. Until after 10. Their train.
The train will not arrive until after 10.
Will settle. Families. Nearby.
Families will settle nearby.
Would be located. The plans clearly specified. Where the door.
Will be located where the plans were the door.
Part E. Story retellings. You will hear 3 brief stories. Each story will be spoken once, followed by a beep. When you hear the beep, you will have 30 seconds to retell the story in English. Try to retell as much of the story as you can, including the situation, characters, actions, and ending. You will hear another beep at the end of the 30 seconds.
Christina likes to play outside with her dog. One day when they were playing, her dog ran through her neighbor's yard when the sprinklers came on. The dog got very wet and he ran back to Christina very quickly. The dog shook off all the water right onto Christina, and so she got wet too. Christina was angry until the dog licked her face. Then she felt better, and they went inside to dry off.
Christina likes to play outside with her dog. One day, she was playing with her dog, ran through the neighbor's yard. The sprinkles came off the dog, got very wet, and he ran back to Christina very quickly with the dog. The dog licked her face, but Christina was angry.
Two friends wanted to lose weight. They decided to start a running club. Every day they met at 7 a.m. and ran for 1 hour. After 2 months, they had both lost 10 pounds and had much more energy.
Two friends want to lose some weight. They decide to start a running workout in the club every day. They meet at 7 a.m. and run for 1 hour. After 2 months, they had lost 10 pounds and had much more energy.
Philip was outside cutting the grass near the street one day. It had rained recently, and there was still a lot of water on the street. While Philip was cutting the grass, a car drove by very quickly and sprayed water all over Philip. Philip wondered why the driver did that and was somewhat upset. Then the driver turned around and came back to say he was sorry to Philip. Philip was surprised and felt better.
Philip was outside from his house cutting the grass near the street. One day it had rained recently, and there was still a lot of water on the street. While Philip was cutting the grass, a car drove very quickly and sprayed water over Philip. Philip was angry because he was in the shower.
Part F. Open questions. You will hear 2 questions about family life or personal choices. Each question will be spoken twice, followed by a beep. When you hear the beep, you will have 40 seconds to answer the question. You will hear another beep at the end of the 40 seconds.
Do you think that a family should ever borrow money from a neighbor? Please explain with examples of such events. Do you think that a family should ever borrow money from a neighbor? Please explain with examples of such events.
A family never borrow money from a neighbor because could be a bad relation with the neighbors if in the case that the neighbors doesn't pay the money, and could be lost the friendship between the two neighbors. It's better don't involves the money into a relationship between neighbors.
Do you feel that learning about art or music is a necessary part of a good education? Why do you feel this way? Do you feel that learning about art or music is a necessary part of a good education? Why do you feel this way?
Yes, it's necessary in the early stage learn about music or art because it's pretty important. Realize some achievements and some behaviors in the early ages because it's pretty important. It could be some good talents. With good talents, it could be good into arts or music better than other mathematics or engineering issues.
This is the end of the test. If you wish,